The best in poker news, entertainment, and more. This is the Hoke Show.
All right, everybody, how are we doing today? Good to see y'all. Sort of. We're going to be off video today. Sorry about that, but we had some circumstances dictated a little different maneuvering today. But hey, thanks for being with us today here on the Hoke Show. We, of course, are live here on RogueWire and happy to be back after a couple weeks off the internet show. We're still doing the KLAV show, but it has been just unbelievable time out here in Las Vegas. I got to tell you guys, I thought I was going to be busy, but nothing quite like this. I have been moving pretty hard, and want to thank everybody for sticking with me as we make the transition out here to Las Vegas doing the shows, and we are having a blast doing it. Wow, great show coming up tonight. We got Greg Merson joining us, the 2012 World Champion. We'll be calling in here. We've also got Anish Patel, the writer of Final Nine comic, is going to be joining us. We're going to try and give you a couple highlights of what's been going on the KLAV show in case you missed that. Of course, you can tune in there Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific time. And, of course, that's up on podcasts on Podbean and iTunes if you'd like to get in on there. Plus, you do have it available to view on RogueWire as well. Good show coming up. Right now, one more guest being scheduled in, but John Freeberg, two-time WSOP bracelet winner, and the legendary Kenneth James. Boy, some of you guys, especially from back in the early Fifth Street Radio, late Short Stack Radio days here with me, know we've had some great times with Kenneth on the show, so it'll be fun having Kenneth in studio live on Wednesday. That's going to be a blast. So make sure you join us there. And the show, by the way, is also replayed right now on KLAV1230am.com and on your radio dial here in Las Vegas at Fridays, 9 p.m. Pacific. So those of you up late on the East Coast are looking for something to listen to while you're hanging out on Friday nights until we get our Friday night show restarted. Check out the replays on KLAV. That'd be kind of cool because once we get the other Friday show start up here in a week or two, you'll be able to listen to that and then go over to KLAV.1230am.com and check it out. So should be a good time, but thanks for being with us, guys. And of course, don't forget, we cannot forget our first event of the Off-Tilt Poker Tables Tournament Series. We've got a horse tournament going off for you today. That is going to be a great time. And of course, 16 tournaments, top 18 advance, and then they will play for a brand new poker table from Off-Tilt Poker Tables, and it's not one of those junky things you find in Walmart. Custom table like I've got sitting in my living room right now. So make sure you check those guys out at offtiltpokertables.com. So pretty cool stuff going on out there right now here for the show, and we're very excited to have all of you hanging around. Of course, for those of you that haven't been back since we got on RogueWire, well, shame on you. What are you doing? Very happy to have you here on RogueWire. And, of course, hey, if you're interested in advertising or doing anything, if you got a show you might want to put on RogueWire, let us know. We'll be glad to get you on board here with RogueWire.com. And speaking of people that are on board, of course, we've got a lot of great sponsors of the show and so many to break down for you. Of course, our good friends at Blind Squirrel Apparel. Make sure you go to blindsquirrelapparel.com. 20% off with the code Hoke when you check out. Look good and be lucky with Blind Squirrel Apparel. Make sure you check out DraftKings. Still have daily fantasy sports going on there with DraftKings. And when you go in there, put in the code Hoke, and you're going to get a great bonus, 100% deposit bonus, plus much more. So check that out at DraftKings.com. And, of course, we also head over to Blue Rail Incorporated. Guys, you need a website. You even just need it hosted. Our good friend Bob, who's done a fantastic job with us at BlueRail.net, will take good care of you, whatever you need, whether it's hosting, multi-platform sales, whatever. Check it out at bluerail.net. Give Bob a call there. Poker plays you can use. Put in the code KLAV when you go to 3barrelbluff.com. And you're going to get 25% off. A great book, you guys. You really need to get in on this. Check that out. Poker plays you can use. Our good friends at Arctic Blue Cooling Towels. Don't want to forget those guys, of course, to get 15% off plus free shipping on one of the neatest products out there. Man, just run that thing under cold water. 5 hours, that thing's going to stay cool. Mine actually stayed cool for 7, so I can only vouch for what happened with me. Make sure you guys go to arcticblu.com, put in the code Mark Hoke Show, and pick up your Arctic Blue cooling towel right now. Our good friends at Off Tilt Poker Tables, we mentioned them. Make sure you go to offtiltpokertables.com. We also have some other good friends. Oh, a whole bunch. I mean, this is ridiculous, isn't it? Final 9 Comic. Make sure you go to final9comic.com. Download the free preview of the first issue today. In fact, do it right now. No reason to wait. So head on over there to final9comic.com. Our good friends at Team Poker Joker, some awesome apparel there. You can be part of Team Poker Joker. I think it's the best deal on the board. Go over there to teampokerjoker.com and get some of these unique poker apparel you're going to pick up. We also have our good friends at 3Bet Clothing. Of course, you see them at the World Series. You know the pros. Get in on the action there with 3Bet as well. Go to 3bet.com. Put in the code RADIO, and you get 15% off there. And for those of you, it is football day. Oh, and before I skip that, I got to make sure I mention Poker Face News. Go to pokerfacenews.com. They're always one bluff ahead. Some great news and information there, along with some pretty cool stuff happening over there. So check those guys out. And for those of you that, of course, are missing out, having a rough season, or getting ready to gear up for NBA, that's rolling too. We got college basketball happening, college football, and you're in the hole a little bit. Most of you probably are. Trust me, I know. Go to doubledigitcovers.com. You want to pick up the great picks from Tony Dose and his handicapping team. Visit them today at doubledigitcovers.com. You can get a free pick. That's pretty cool. So check it out. Go to doubledigitcovers.com today. And I promise you, unfortunately, I don't have the phone number that I needed, but you'll hear it during the show. I'll make sure I pick that up for you as well. And don't forget, of course, go to KLAV1230am.com. Check out the Mark Hoke Show there. Also go to good friends at Quan International and Project All In, which we just did one of those a couple weeks ago. You can take a look at that as well. Whew. Wow. And also, by the way, I should mention the Poker Throwdown. Before I forget that, too. The Poker Throwdown going on here at the Golden Nugget on the 30th. Benefiting a couple of great animal rescues in the area. So check that out. And if you're in the area, come on down and play. It's going to be an awesome time. The Lane Flack On Tilt Poker Throwdown at the Golden Nugget. All right. Zion is calling Broncos and the over every week for easy money. Yeah, for the most part, you might be right on that. I'm looking forward to Denver tearing Kansas City apart tonight. I know everybody is like, oh, Andy Reid has turned the Kansas City Chiefs around. And you guys know from me doing the show that not the biggest Andy Reid fan, not the biggest from his days in Philadelphia. They haven't beaten anybody over 500. If you go back and look at that schedule, it is pitiful. I mean, really, really bad. So we'll see what happens when somebody with some talent comes marching into town. But speaking of my Eagles, first place, baby. Woohoo! Miracles do happen. Gotta love that. The Philadelphia Eagles in first place. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know why. I don't know how, but it is there and going down. So God bless the Philadelphia Eagles, baby. They're scary. Yeah. Casino Examiner calling for the Alex Smith choke. I don't know if there's a choke there. I just think that Denver's a way better team. When Kansas City starts beating somebody, it reminds me a couple years ago. You guys were following the show. You know that when Kansas City had that great year, they had that ridiculously easy schedule. I mean, easy schedule. Took advantage of it. Had a lot of close games against bad teams. Got to the playoffs. Got smoked. And off they went. Yeah, Broncos only have one game against a 500 team, too, and lost it. Yeah, but I'll tell you what, that one's kind of that lost to Indianapolis. I don't blame them on that one. I really don't. But yeah, a lot of crazy stuff going on in the NFL. We'll probably have a little bit of time to talk about that as we keep it rolling here. But of course, Greg Merson coming up here in just a little bit. We're going to talk to Greg on Anish Patel and the Off-Tail Poker Tables Tournament Series. Plus, we'll maybe try and dig out some highlights from some of the KLAV shows that we can throw them on here real quick for you. So it should be a fun one here. We're looking forward to talking to Greg. Now, of course, so much news going on, and this has been a pretty crazy week and a half here. We've got Jim McDermott putting out a new Internet Gambling Regulation and Tax Enforcement Act of 2003. Really? Here we go again. The Democrat from the poker-friendly state of Washington. I'm really excited about that. Serving as companion legislation to the Internet Gambling Regulation Consumer Protection Enforcement Act 2013. This is introduced by Peter King. He's now not one of my favorites, to say the least. But just some of the highlights from that, they're looking to create a 12% deposit tax paid by licensed operators, not players. The government gets 4%. Qualified states and tribes that participate in the I love how they have this written, the federal regime would receive 8%. Online gambling tax payable to states and tribes dependent on the location of the customer in the respective qualified state or tribal area at the time the customer makes a deposit. Does anybody think this is going to happen? I really wanted to get Rich Meany on the show, and I'm going to try and get him here shortly. But does anyone really believe that we are going to get to see some sort of federal legislation? I'm not buying it. These guys are so messed up, and with Obamacare, I don't want to say train wreck because everybody's been using that. I'm thinking government Armageddon. This is such a sideshow. I mean, honestly, guys, I hate to say it, but nobody cares. They have way bigger fish to fry up there than trying to get internet poker going. Hey, God bless them if they can pull it off. But I think one thing that they are seeing is now that the states are starting to get things rolling a little bit, they're going to lose out, and definitely want to try and get their piece of the pie. But the problem is these guys just don't care enough. It's not an issue that they care about at the federal level, and it's just another sign of where our government is right now. These guys just when there's something that people actually care about and want to see done, no, nope. We'll fund those salamander tunnels. Oh yeah, give me a salamander tunnel. Boy, I can't even say that. Salamander tunnel. I didn't think that was going to be that difficult. I'm sorry I didn't practice it. But when it comes to something that millions of Americans play and like to do, and has sent so many of our great players out of the country, I don't know. Casino Examiner saying, can I fly into Newark, New Jersey, play online in the terminal, then fly home the same day? I don't know. You give it a shot. You fly to Las Vegas. I mean, that would be all right. You're a little closer to Vegas than you are to New Jersey. But, of course, a lot of licenses have been getting approved out there in New Jersey. Of course, PokerStar is not one of them. Go figure. There's another ball game going on out there that's driving everybody nuts. I'll tell you what, I cannot believe. Well, I can. Keep out the big dog. Don't let them in there. PokerStar submission is still under review by regulators. Next update on Wednesday, November 20th. And that's one day before the web gambling trial period begins in the state. So we'll know by Wednesday, November 20th, whether PokerStars is going to have authority to offer services by the November 26th launch date, or they're going to be stuck behind. So the ones that were green-lighted, Caesars Interactive Entertainment, B-Win Party, 888, Ultimate Poker, Betfair, and Amaya Gaming were awarded transitional waivers by the DGE. They're going to be eligible to be in the soft launch trial period beginning on November 21st. 16 companies have received approval to offer web gambling services in New Jersey on Friday. I won't bother listing all those out. But their online gambling trial run starts on November 21st with a full launch scheduled to roll out on the 26th. So kids, have fun. Have fun. It's going to be something else. By the way, and talking about that situation too, how about the Atlantic Club? It's funny because, as you guys know, I'm from the East Coast and spent a lot of the time in Atlantic City. And when I saw that the Atlantic Club was being purchased by PokerStars a while back, my first reaction was, where the hell is the Atlantic Club? I couldn't remember. I honestly couldn't remember. I'd never been there. So then these guys go and take all that PokerStars money, screw PokerStars over, and now they have filed for bankruptcy. Yep, that is a business I'd love to buy up. Nolan Dalla had a great blog on nolandalla.com. Of course, he is the media director for the World Series of Poker, talking about how he would offer to buy the Atlantic Club for $1. I wouldn't do it. You'd have to pay me to buy that get that place. No one goes there. Nobody cares about it. It's horribly run. It's like, I'll take it off your hands. Ship me a few $1 million so I can survive for a week, and then I can turn it into a parking lot. Those chickens came home to roost on that one, didn't they, guys? Wow. So have fun with the Atlantic Club, you goons. Unbelievable. What are you going to do? All right. So we have Greg Merson coming up here in just a couple minutes. A lot more news that we're going to try and go over here. The WPT Alpha 8 in St. Kitts is going on right now. And also, kids, you're going to get your full tilt money back. How about that? So let's step back, take a quick break, and we will be right back here on the Mark Hoke Show. Greg Merson coming up here. So stick around, everybody. We will be right back.
One man, his lucky shirt, an unforgettable night, and a winning streak that never seemed to end. That's how Blind Squirrel began, and we haven't looked back since. We make the clothes that we want to wear for the places where we want to look and feel our best. The game, the speakeasy, and the casino floor. Blind Squirrel's small batch, high-quality gear is for people too busy grabbing life by the nuts to bother with crappy, ill-fitting clothing. Because like you, we prefer our nights long, our drinks strong, and our lucky shirt to be our most comfortable. So look good, be lucky, and visit blindsquirrelapparel.com for your new favorite shirt. As an added bonus, you'll receive 20% off your purchase with the promo code HOKE, H-O-K-E. You can also pick up Blind Squirrel apparel at the Borgata in Atlantic City and in Las Vegas at all Masura stores at Mandalay Bay, Monte Carlo, the Mirage, and MGM Grand. Look good and be lucky with Blind Squirrel apparel.
When it comes to custom poker tables, why would you buy something someone else designed and even named for their sales or marketing purposes?
The Nighthawk, the Gambler, the Big Slick, the Nuts.
Sure, you can customize it if you want, as long as you choose between black, red, or even green cloth, but that's about it. When you choose to play off tilt, it's not just another table, it's your table. The same price gets you a fully custom designed table that reflects your style and game. Off Tilt makes it easy to design a truly one-of-a-kind custom poker table that'll give you home table advantage. Sure, Off Tilt could name their tables for marketing purposes, but why? It's not ours. We don't play on it. And to be honest, there are over 1,000 named Off Tilt tables worldwide, including the WSOP, the Deep Stacks Poker Tour, the Jonathan Papelbon, as well as Julie's, Chris's, Scott's, Amber's, Tristan's, just to name a few. So let us add your name to the list and deliver a truly custom-crafted, furniture-quality poker table worthy of your game. Visit www.offtiltpokertables.com or call Brian Knott today at 262-490-3812. We'll show you why Off Tilt is the only way to play.
Turn up the electricity on your computer by going to RogueWire.com. News, sports, current events, and the internet home of The Mark Hoke Show, plus much more. Like us on Facebook and follow RogueWire on Twitter to stay up to date and let the sparks fly off your screen. Check it out, RogueWire.com.
Want to be a millionaire? Then see if you can become fantasy sports royalty in the 2013 Fantasy Football Millionaire Grand Final at DraftKings.com. Play for free or in paid contests for real money, plus games last one day, so there's no long-term commitment. Thousands of winners have won over 10 million prizes on DraftKings.com, and now it's your turn to cash in. Go to DraftKings.com right now, enter the promo code HOKE, and get a 100% deposit bonus and a free entry into the Millionaire Grand Final Qualifier. So don't wait. Crown yourself the king of fantasy sports at DraftKings.com. The heat is on. Whether you're in the hot seat of a major poker tournament or just dealing with everyday life, stay cool with a brand new Arctic Blue cooling towel. Just wet your reusable and durable Arctic Blue cooling towel in cold water, and you'll have instant cooling relief at your fingertips for up to 5 hours. The towel is lightweight and pliable, so you can keep it handy no matter where you are. Plus, it's absorbent enough to make sure you and your clothes stay dry while you stay cool. No need to sweat it out, no matter what you're doing, when you have an Arctic Blue cooling towel handy. So get the same cooling towel used by professional athletes, poker players, first responders, physical therapists, U.S. automakers, and even reality TV stars. So what are you waiting for? Visit them today at arcticblu.com and pick yours up today. Plus, enter the discount code MarkHokeShow when you check out and get 15% off plus free shipping to keep some of your cold hard cash in your wallet. It's like the Arctic Blue Bear says, it's not cool to be hot. So pick up your Arctic Blue cooling towel today.
At Team Poker Joker, we build innovative, high-performance, poker-focused apparel designed to keep you cool and calm in tough situations. Wait, no we don't. We've just got a cool brand representing the suits of this beautiful game called poker. Our gear won't make you better, but it will keep a smile on your face. So don't be so serious and show you know how to have fun. Get your Poker Joker gear today at TeamPokerJoker.com. Grin and win today at TeamPokerJoker.com.
9 poker players on a dramatic path to glory with unbelievable twists and turns that will keep you on the edge of your seat. It's the Final 9 comic from Room 110 Publishing. Go to final9comic.com to download the first issue preview and get ready for the official launch on October 21st, 2013. 9 will become one way or another. Final9comic.com. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
You gotta love Big John doing those promos. Being on KLAV is fun. If you haven't gotten to listen to any of the shows yet, I think it really shines through how much great time that we have in there. And having everybody in there live is awesome, too. And I was really happy that Katie Stone of the Grindettes, one of our great friends of the show, was up here this week and had the time to stop in and join us live in there. Of course, the Grindettes do a segment on the show every week, and but they have to call in. We kind of have to keep it a little bit short because we've only got an hour on there, at least for now. Maybe this time around we can expand it to 2, but we'll see. It'll be nice. But it's just such an honor to be on there and having some of the greats in the game joining us on the Mark Hoke Show on KLAV. It's been an amazing experience, and thanks to all of our sponsors and supporters of the show. We do appreciate it, including my good friends at the Nevada Poker League. I don't want to forget about them. They run some awesome events at many local establishments here in Las Vegas. And if you haven't got a chance to join in, or if you come down and visit, go play one of them. You have an awesome time, I'm telling you. And they do feeders to tournaments at the Stratosphere, and it's just an awesome group of people. And I want to thank Joe and Siski for their hospitality and everything they've been doing for the show since we've been out here in Las Vegas. All right, so Greg Merson coming up here in just a couple of minutes. So as soon as we get Greg on the line, we'll get him on the show. All right. And by the way, of course, our good friends at Poker News, who are replaying the Mark Hoke KLAV show, they have a little promotion going on right now. If you are want to be a Poker News top fan, well, all you have to do is go to Poker News, and they have an article up there. You get to go to the Poker News Top Fans application page. Then you download an app. And the more Poker News content you share, the quicker you build your points to unlock a great reward. They're giving out $500 Amazon.com gift cards. So that's a pretty nice deal. They're also giving out some T-shirts and all sorts of neat stuff. Well, I should do that. I could use a $500 Amazon card. That's not bad. Yeah, Casino Examiner saying he listens to, the Gambling with an Edge guys. They're pretty good, too. It's kind of funny for the show on there. I'm between Joe the AC guy and Sex and Money. So if your heater or air conditioner breaks down, you got Joe, and he's a great guy. Love Joe to death. And then the Sex and Money team comes in. They are one motley crew, but I love them. And every time they come in, they're like, Mark, oh my God, this is so, I want to go play poker right now, man. You got me going. I'm like, all right, go play poker. Have fun, man. Do it. You send me the strippers, I'll send you a deck of cards. I'll keep it fair. But thanks to all of you for listening. Really do appreciate it. So hang on here for Greg Merson coming up. We got Anish Patel from Final Nine Comic. And, of course, man, that Off-Tilt Poker Tables Tournament Series event number 1. Those of you goofballs that missed the first one, well, you're missing out on a chance to score some points. We all know how critical those were last time. Oh, my God. That was so ridiculously close. So make sure you take a little bit of time out and get into the PokerStars home game. Club ID is 629454. Password is LockItUp1. Oh, and I'm sorry, it's RogueWire now, excuse me. It just rolls off the tongue too much. So it is Club ID 629454. Password is RogueWire. One word. And I'm keeping things open here, so if we get anybody applying to be in the game, I will be ready to let you in so you can enter the tournament. All right, so the 2012 World Champ, Greg Merson, coming up here very shortly. So we're hanging on here for Greg to join us. And, of course, by the way, if you want to give us a follow, we'd certainly appreciate it. We got our Twitter, Mark Hoke Show, and, of course, our Facebook page, The Mark Hoke Show. Would love to have you join in there. And, by the way, we're going to announce the winner of that Blind Squirrel prize pack next week. With everything going on, honestly, I forgot to do the drawing. I'm not going to lie. So we will make sure that prize pack gets given out next week right here on the show. So it should be pretty cool on that. All right, hanging in here for Greg Merson. Let's see if we can get you an update real quick on what's happening with the World Poker Tour right now, because they have the Alpha 8 St. Kitts final table. They're down to 3 out there. It is Timex Mike McDonald, Tom McDonald, and then once again, hot Philip Grissom. How about that? Antonio Esfaniari finishing 4th on that. I believe Jason Kuhn also made that final table. Fabian Quas finishing 5th. Isaac Haxton in 6th. I think the winners are walking away with around $1 million. I had a little trouble finding the prize pool on that. But there's some serious money flying around on those Alpha 8 tables. So make sure you check that out. Looks like you got the Party Poker's back as a sponsor. The Party Poker WPT event up in Montreal coming up November 29th. We got the WPT going on in Jacksonville right now as well. And let me see if we get a chip count update on that. A good friend, Ryan Araquezo, was out in front of that thing. And right now, those chip counts, Kong Pham is your leader out there on day 2, 670,000. Andrew Kelsall at 595. Ryan is at 590. Jared Jaffe, there's a name we haven't heard for a while. He's at 460. Robert Stefanowski at 400,000. Andrew Whitaker is up there. It's running down some of the other big names still in there. Jeff Madsen is over the chip stack, top chip stack right now. You got Jake Schwartz. Matt Glantz, always a mainstay in the WPT, and we're waiting for him to hit one of those final tables. Finally. Byron Caverman. Boy, I haven't seen that name for a while here. David Diaz, the band one. Unfortunately, he's in there as well. So a pretty good lineup for the WPT Best Bet Jacksonville Fall Poker Scramble happening right now. And we'll keep an eye on what's going on with that Alpha 8 event as we proceed through the day. All right, so just hanging on here for Greg Merson to give us a call, and we'll get him in here. Looks like real quick, we'll probably be talking some football later, but we got Oakland beating Houston today, Arizona over Jacksonville, Tampa beats Atlanta. Oh, what a horrible season for the Falcons. Unreal. Steelers dumped Detroit. Eagles, Eagles, taking one down against the Redskins. Cincinnati was threatened by Cleveland for about 2 minutes, and that was about it. Bears beat Baltimore in overtime, that crazy weather-delayed game. Bills smashed the Jets. That's a huge loss for the New York. Seattle's out in front of Minnesota 24-13 right now. Giants are up on Green Bay 19-6. And boy, what a tough break for Green Bay losing Aaron Rodgers. Saints and 49ers in a little bit of a battle right now at 14-10. Miami, San Diego, Dolphins, the Fish, early in the fourth up 17-16. Of course, got the big one coming up tonight here, Kansas City and Denver. Sunday and then Monday Night Football. Well, it'll be Mr. Brady and Mr. Newton. I'm going to hook it up there a little bit. I wouldn't know how to bet that one. That one's going to be kind of interesting. I don't know. There's something. Carolina's playing some good football. Stunning, I know. Carolina and good football in many ways don't go together. But we shall see. The team playing some of the best football in Carolina right now is the Duke Blue Devils. Yep, the Duke Blue Devils. That's what we said. If you missed it, they are in first place in their division in the ACC. They beat Miami yesterday. So the Duke Blue Devils, your big winner. It looks like they're going to be playing Florida State for the ACC title, barring any major disasters, because Duke just doesn't have anything left on the schedule. It is Florida State, so kind of like a Duke Florida State matchup. Unreal. How about that one? Would you have picked that at the beginning of the season? I don't know. I know I wouldn't have. All right, so once again, hanging on Greg Merson. Just send him a text. We'll get him here on the show as soon as we can. I'll get to talk to him about his reign for a year as world champion and what the obstacles that Ryan Reese is going to be facing. We kind of touched on that a little bit, but the other day, a couple of times actually on the KLAV show. But now we're going to get to discuss it with the guy that was just there. And of course, we all know Greg had his issues in the past and was dealing with so much happening in his life, and now we get to hear from the man himself. And speaking of him, here we go. Let's get him on.
This is a blinking catch right here.
Let's say hi. Greg's watching football. How you doing, Greg?
Yeah. How's it going, man?
Hey, happy to have you on the show, my friend. Good to see you.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Yep. So what game are you watching? What's on the tube?
We're just watching Red Zone.
Oh.
And I'm in a close fantasy match right now, so sweating this out.
Oh, there you go. What do we need? What should I tell the listeners to root for?
No big game from Jamal Charles tonight.
Perfect. I think that's a good one. I'm with you.
And no more Jimmy Graham, although he's been shut down all game, but that never really means anything because he can just go off so quickly.
Yeah. So, well, yeah, and I got to tell you, Greg, of course, from Maryland, and I want to compliment you once again on your choice of jerseys for winning the World Championship. I'm a diehard Orioles fan since I was a kid. So thank you very much for that. But let me ask you about that. How long have you been a Orioles fan? I mean, a lot of people got off that bandwagon for a while.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much just since I was a little kid. That's like the only place I ever went to see games. And I've only been to one Nationals game. So pretty long time.
Yeah, that's kind of one of those things, I guess, as an Orioles fan, you got to do once, right? Go to the Nationals, say hi to everybody, and walk away.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to really follow a team that doesn't have tradition. As far as myself being a sports fan, I have a hard time really being on board with the Ravens or just any team that doesn't really have a storied history. And I gave a lot of credit to the Redskins fans, even though I don't like the Redskins for how diehard they are, and they just haven't been good for 15 years or so.
That's a tough place to go watch a game, by the way. If you're not a fan of the Redskins, have you ever done that? Because it's pretty scary.
Yeah, I go to the Dallas Cowboys game at FedEx pretty much every year. I'm a huge Cowboys fan, and it's pretty brutal being a Cowboys fan since we also haven't done anything in 20 years.
Yeah, that would not be fun. That's for sure. Of course, it's worse going to Philadelphia. I'm an Eagles fan, and you can't wear a Cowboys jersey in there. That's dangerous.
Yeah, I still haven't made that trip out there for the Eagles-Cowboys game. One of these days I will.
All right, just trust me on this. Don't wear the jersey, all right? Don't.
Yeah, when you go to FedEx, they have like half Cowboys fans, or nearly half, so it's not that bad.
Yeah, it's not the same in Philly. that is death. You will be missing a limb when you leave. I'll tell you that. Well, let's get to some of the poker things that have been happening lately. First I wanted to talk to you about your opportunity to be at the Hall of Fame ceremony that we got to attend a couple weeks ago with Scotty Wynn and Tom McAvoy being inducted in the Hall of Fame. What was that like for you to be amongst all those greats and at that ceremony? It must have been a pretty eye-opening experience for you.
Yeah, it was, and it was a much more enjoyable experience than last year, where I was at the induction ceremony last year with doing some media stuff for the final three, and I just was so focused on playing that I wasn't able to really concentrate at all on the Hall of Fame ceremony or really appreciate what it was all about. And then this time around, I got to just be in Vegas for the whole hectic, 2 days of play and that ceremony the day before, and just enjoy everything and sit back and take it all in. And I do have a lot of respect for the game, and it was pretty emotional to see someone like Scotty Wynn get inducted and shed some tears. And the speech that Phil Hellmuth did talking about Scotty was amazing. And then same thing reversed back. What Scotty had to say to Phil was cool. How he said that every time he's at the same table with Phil, he always makes him play his best because he wants to show Phil that he's a good player. And I can relate to that when I play against certain players for sure.
Yeah, being a main event champion really does put you in that echelon of players in terms of, you have a great status in the game, but obviously there's more to it to get into the Hall of Fame. What kind of inspiration did you get out of when you left there? Did you think about, what you want to do with your career in poker at this point? And, do you have aspirations to keep on playing and try to get into the Hall of Fame yourself?
Yeah, I don't really see any end in sight, any near future, that's for sure. And I just, as long as I love to play, I'm going to keep playing. And as far as the Hall of Fame is concerned, I mean, that'll just take care of itself. I tell myself every summer that I'm going to play more World Series events, and I'm telling myself the same thing for this upcoming trip or this upcoming series next summer. And I mean, we'll see if it actually happens. I usually get, distracted by the side games and then don't end up playing as many as I say I'm going to. But I think it just makes sense for me to play more of them at this point, where I can, get that third bracelet at some point, hopefully, and then possibly go from there. And you start getting into a category of very few players that have, 3 or more.
Yeah, it's very interesting when you look at the legacy of some of these guys that have won the world championship. You have multiple bracelets, winning one right before you won the main event, and it certainly does set a bar for you at this point. And it seems like you're one of those players that really does care about trying to push your game to that next level and become something special. Is there what are your major goals maybe over the next couple of years in terms of the game? Because, I know you do get to play a lot of cash and, you're traveling over Macau and doing all these great things, but, what do you really deep down want to accomplish over the next 2 years or 3 years in the game?
Well, I mean, I really just want to keep progressing as a poker player and setting myself up financially even more for the future. And as I've continued to do well in poker, it's become more of a focus to somewhat stay in the public eye / spotlight. And by that means making appearances, doing charity events, and playing poker tournaments. So that's just something I've been spending more time on, and not necessarily just focusing on where all the big cash games are or where can I make the most money. I see myself playing more tournaments in 2014 in a year than I have in any year previous, for sure. I think lifetime I've played maybe 40 something live tournaments, maybe 50. And I've been playing for a living since I was 19, so that's less than 10 a year. Been make an effort to get out there a little more, especially in the U.S.
How difficult has it been since you won the world championship, and everybody dreams of that, but there's so much more that goes with it. And I know we just had Jesse Sylvia on the show on KLAV, who mentioned that you were talking about just how much work outside of poker it is since you won the world championship. And Ryan Reese is going to be facing this over the next year. What are some of the things that you had to deal with off the table that you had to do as the reigning world champion?
Just quite a few interviews right after I won, which really made me look down upon the whole media process, because everyone was asking me the same questions. When did you start playing poker? What got you into poker? Like just all the basic questions that I answered 100 times over and over again. And now that we are past that point and there's more information out there regarding myself, it's much more enjoyable for me to do interviews now where the questions are more in depth and just not the same thing over and over and over again. So it's not really like I look at the process much differently than I did, say, 3 months after winning the main, where I was just like, all right, I'm going to Macau, like, leave me alone. And yeah, I mean, it's not really that much work. I mean, you gotta be respectful of other people when you meet them, and be nice to them, and sometimes listen to them tell stories that you might not feel like dealing with, or like I actually had a session where I lost like $40K about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and the guy asked me to take a picture with him as I was leaving the casino, so I have to just put on like a fake smile, you know what I mean? So that's stuff like that, and getting knocked out of a tournament and having to sign autographs and take pictures when you just kind of want to get out of there. Those are like the tougher things, but I think I've done a good job just being positive when I'm in those situations. I haven't been rude to anyone, or at least I don't think I have. Maybe someone would disagree with that, but I mean, I think I've done the best I can.
Yeah, it's interesting that people don't realize that I look at people when I'm doing the shows of the World Series, for example, and I'll see Scotty Wynn, Phil Hellmuth, and all you guys, Greg Raymer. I mean, you can't walk down those hallways and not have people come up to you and stop you and want to talk to you and take pictures and get autographs. And they have. I think sometimes people forget. You have some poker you want to play too, and it's very difficult, I would think, to sometimes to keep your head a little bit when you're being torn apart at every turn every time you walk into a card room.
Yeah, that's exactly what I went through during the main event this year, and it didn't make it any easier on myself going deep. It just got worse and worse every day, and I just never really had any breaks to myself. It was like every time I was playing, the 2-hour level was like my break, because every break I would get asked for an interview or pictures or autographs, and I just want to go to the bathroom and just like relax and refresh. That's what the breaks are for. So it made me slightly jealous of guys that have the trailers out back and they just shoot out to those every break, and something I'm considering moving forward. I mean, I know that it won't be as crazy this summer as it was last summer, because someone else stepped in my shoes, but if it is something that's going to be an issue for me, then I'll just have to get one of those things and use it. I mean, I know it's like kind of a spew, but if it helps with your performance, then it can't be that bad.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with having a cool trailer. You're all right, Greg.
Yeah.
No one's going to fault you for it. It's all good. Blow the money. Come on. I know you did take good care of your money. I mean, everybody has said just how well you kept your head over this last year, and and it showed. With another deep run. What did you have? What were some things that you had to do to keep your focus? Like I said, there's so many distractions there. What do you do on the side when you're trying to wind down?
You mean like right after winning?
Well, just in general. I mean, as if you need to get away and you want to try and relax and get away from poker for a while, what do you do?
That's a really good question. I mean, I spend time with my girlfriend. She's really the only thing that distracts me from the game, and I rarely ever think about playing when we're around each other, which is great. And that's never really been the case with any other relationship that I've ever been in. So that's cool. And we knew each other before I won, so I think that's pretty important too, since it kind of like solidifies that she's not a gold digger, which is a part of life, you know. And I mean, I do still just play a lot of poker though, man. I just play all the time. Like, I think like the best treatment for me to stay sober is just to keep myself busy, and the best way for me to keep my mind busy is like competing at a high level. So I still play like 40 or 50 hours a week, sometimes even more than that.
Yeah, I can imagine, the distractions that came up and hit you. And, what advice would you give to Ryan right now as, he's starting out on his venture as a world champion? I even know Jay Farber, for example, had a Facebook post that everybody was coming at him and asking for money. And, I can imagine with Ryan being so young, the party scene is definitely a possibility, and a potential distraction for him. What would you tell Ryan to do at this point now that he's won this world championship and it's so fresh?
Yeah, I've actually spoken to him quite a bit after he won, and he was the one that I was speaking to the most during the whole process of before the final table in Vegas and then during the actual tournament on breaks, because unfortunately we both smoked cigarettes, so I would see him every break, and I mean, I haven't given him too much advice about what to do after. The only thing I've really mentioned to him is that he's in he has a different opportunity than pretty much anyone else that had ever won before, where he didn't sign with anyone before winning.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to be the world champion for the next 11 and a half months, and he doesn't have to rush into signing with a poker company, because I know they're just all going after him right now, and he has the ability to kind of like have different companies bid against each other, for whoever wants him, and I think he should take full advantage of that, because it was something that I considered doing with not signing with anyone, but I just couldn't really turn the deal down that I was offered. Especially if I were to not win, then that would have been silly of me.
Yeah, I mean it was a very interesting topic we were talking about last week with Ryan, that he managed to somehow not sign with any sponsors before the World Series. I mean, that takes a lot of guts, because you don't have to give any numbers, but how many companies were coming at you when you made that final table? I can imagine it must have been insane what was happening to you.
Yeah, I must have had like 8, maybe 10 different offers, and I actually turned one of the offers down to wear the PPA patch for free, just because I just like what they stand for, and they're going to help my job in the poker world moving forward more than $10,000 would, I think, long run. So it's just the value of doing that for free, it seemed like a better option for me, and I was surprised that he didn't take any one-off deals, say with a casino or something, where he's not actually signing the contract. He's just, wearing the patch and accepting the money, and that's it, type of deal. So, yeah, I mean, like, people are going to make their own decisions, and he didn't want to wear anything. David Benefield didn't wear anything, so that, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it.
No, absolutely not. I mean, it's it was a pretty gutsy decision on his part. And speaking about the PPA and what you've been doing as world champion, I have to commend you, because a lot of some world champions really shy away from getting involved in anything political, but you got yourself into that whole election situation that happened out in Maryland with the table games going through. Why was that so important to you that you felt you needed to step out on that?
Yeah, I mean, it was important because we have such a great underground poker scene in Maryland. Well, now that's pretty much done since we have a casino here, and a lot of the guys from the area, Baltimore, Annapolis, or like Northern Virginia, D.C. area, they've all been making the trip up to Atlantic City or Charlestown or Philly, and now all those guys are playing at Maryland Live, and we have basically the second busiest poker room in the U.S. behind Commerce, in terms of tables. Like, every weekend we have all 52 tables running with, I've seen over 100 people. Like, this past weekend on Friday or Saturday was 52 tables and over 100 people on the wait list. I mean, that's just
Jeez.
insane. Yeah, we've been having some big games there, and then just a regular 10-25 has been going like 5 or 6 days a week, which pretty much doesn't happen anywhere in the U.S. besides Bellagio. But 10-25 plays a little bigger than 10-20, so it's been pretty great.
That is awesome, and being from the area, I'm very happy to hear they're doing well out there. That's exciting because you mentioned the underground scene. I mean, I was part of the underground scene in South Central Pennsylvania and that area, and I don't think people, until these casinos start popping up in PA and Maryland, how nuts that underground scene was. It was a lot of people playing poker behind closed doors.
Yeah, and I was part of it too. I mean, I played 1-2 and 2-5 and some 5-10 games for years before I turned 21 when I couldn't play anywhere else, and it was just crazy the amount of players they had on their contact list or player list. I know one of the 1-2 games I used to play at had over 500 people on their text list, and that's just crazy,
Oh, that's incredible. And, by the way, though, speaking of those high roller games, now you had a little incident during the World Series. Can you tell everybody what happened there, and was there any resolution to that situation?
No, not really, but I was really just concerned about the fact that they had two private games going. Like, I know that they still have their private game in Ivy's room, but I never really had that big of an issue with the fact that there was that game going in there. It's just that during the summer it was so busy that they would start another one on the regular tables, and I just didn't think that was fair, especially with everyone waiting to play. 1-2 to 5-10, they would have so many people on the list. They only have 23 tables, and they would save a table for hours while people sat 3-4 hours waiting to play 2-5. I mean, those are your customers. I mean, I just didn't think it was right. Not only just affecting the high stakes players, but just the trickle down effect for everyone that likes to play there. And I don't know. I mean, because it's not busy enough where they would have the ability to have two games like that right now. And I mean, I won't really be able to know if it's been resolved until next summer.
Yeah, I guess you'll find out. One thing that I really admire about you, Greg, is that you seem to have a real confidence about yourself, and you're willing to take a stand when you need to. And a lot of poker players aren't willing to do that. Where does that kind of courage come from?
Well, it's just nice to. That's one of the best things about winning, changing my life, is that if I do have an issue that I want to bring to the table, I don't have to be scared to bring it up, knowing that the people that follow me and support me will 95% of the time support what I'm backing. Whereas, if I had the 400 followers I had before the summer started in 2012, I wouldn't be able to raise an issue about the private games because, who's really going to care? I can't really reach out to that many people, and I'm just going to look like I'm begging for attention or something, I guess. And it's nice that I can get to, I guess, the heart of the issue much quicker with the reach that I have through Twitter specifically. For instance, the seat scripting on Stars, I was just immediately contacted by Stars, whereas if once again, if I didn't have them following, that wouldn't have been done nearly that quickly. And it just shows that if you have the voice and there's something that needs to be fixed or addressed, don't be afraid to use it, and especially if it's going to help the community out, then I'm all for it.
Oh, good for you, man. That bodes well for a very long and illustrious poker career coming for you, and being willing to take a stand now. I can only imagine how much good you're going to be able to do for the game in the next 15 to 20 years. So good for you. Way to get on the ball there, man. Nice job. So. Well,
thank you.
No problem. Well, I'll tell you what, one more question. I'm going to let you get back to your football. Now, Ryan Reese said he's the best player in the world. Do we get a heads up with you and Ryan at any point? I want to see it.
Well, we're a little too friendly to see that happen, but of course I would. But that comment a lot of people have asked me about, and I think, from a 23-year-old that has only been playing poker for 18 months seriously to have the success that he's had, I'm sure he just got a little carried away with that comment. And, to put myself in his shoes, he's just on top of the world and hasn't really experienced enough poker to understand where he stands, I guess, where he ranks amongst the tournament players, and I'm sure we'll find out over the next year or so. There's just so much variance in tournaments, and obviously when you're just winning every all-in and running good, then you think you're a lot better than you actually are. And I think you played well and deserve to win, but time will tell, how good he actually really is.
Yeah, 23-year-old guy winning a world championship. He's gonna say something silly every once in a while, but still, we should get that heads-up match set up. I'd like to see that. That'd be definitely a good one to play. That's for sure. Well, Greg.
Man.
Hey, Greg. Well, I want to thank you for coming on. And hey, if anybody's not following you on Twitter or Facebook, you want to mention your handles and everything so they can follow you.
Yeah, it's just at Greg Merson, my name on Twitter, and Facebook, same thing. There's a bunch of fake ones on Facebook though, so just you got to find the one with the most friends.
Okay, sounds good. Well, Greg, hey, thanks for calling in. I appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we will speak to you again soon. Look forward to seeing you next time you're out here in Vegas.
All right, man. Thanks a lot.
You got it. Take care.
All right, take care.
Yep, there you go. Greg Merson, everybody. The 2012 world champion. Boy, and I'll tell you what, I really do admire for him being so young, being willing to take stands. And, you can say what you think about it one way or another, but, without a doubt, being willing to stand up for yourself no matter what, whether you're in the right or the wrong is pretty bold to do. So kudos to him. And, I'm sure he may have gotten a percentage or two getting out there and campaigning for that casino in Maryland and the table games in Maryland casinos. And looks like they're probably pretty glad they did it. That's a lot of tables going on. Unbelievable. All right, let's step back, take a break. And we have, of course, Anish Patel coming up here in a little bit. And we have our Off-Tilt Poker Tables Tournament Series, event number 1. Just go to pokerstars.net, click on that Home Games tab, join a club, and then enter club ID 629454. And that code is ROGUEWIRE, ROGUEWIRE. And you can get in that first event to play for a brand new poker table from Off-Tilt Poker Tables. All right, so let's take a step back. We'll be right back here on the Mark Hoke Show. We are live, having a great time here in Las Vegas. Thank you for joining us, and Anish Patel coming up here in just a little bit. So stick around. We will be right back.
Sports bettors, tired of getting beat every week at your sportsbook? It's time to stop guessing and start winning. We all know cash is king, and it's time to let the team at Double Digit Covers come to the rescue to help you get the positive cash flow you need to live the life you've always dreamed about. Tony Dos and his all-star sports handicapping team will be in your corner to help you beat the point spread, bring excitement and winning to your betting experience, and build your bankroll to levels you never thought possible. Get free winning sports information at doubledigitcovers.com and call now for today's free winner at 1-855-489-3500. That's 1-855-489-3500. Stop guessing and start winning today at doubledigitcovers.com.
Poker is more fun when you win. Most poker books are too theoretical. They tell you to be more aggressive but give few practical examples. Poker Plays You Can Use by Doug Hull, edited by Ed Miller, has 49 concepts with multiple, clear examples from real, live 1-2 through 5-10 games. Each hand is visually represented, explaining which players are vulnerable to these moves. Use discount code KLAV at 3barrelbluff.com to get 25% off your copy. Paper and ebook available.
At Team Poker Joker, we build innovative, high-performance, poker-focused apparel designed to keep you cool and calm in tough situations. Wait, no we don't. we've just got a cool brand representing the suits of this beautiful game called poker. Our gear won't make you better, but it will keep a smile on your face. So don't be so serious and show you know how to have fun. Get your Poker Joker gear today at TeamPokerJoker.com. Grin and win today at TeamPokerJoker.com.
9 poker players on a dramatic path to glory with unbelievable twists and turns that will keep you on the edge of your seat. It's the Final 9 comic from Room 110 Publishing. Go to final9comic.com to download the first issue preview and get ready for the official launch on October 21st, 2013. 9 will become one way or another. Final9comic.com.
One man, his lucky shirt, an unforgettable night, and a winning streak that never seemed to end. That's how Blind Squirrel began, and we haven't looked back since. We make the clothes that we want to wear for the places where we want to look and feel our best. The game, the speakeasy, and the casino floor. Blind Squirrel's small batch, high-quality gear is for people too busy grabbing life by the nuts to bother with crappy, ill-fitting clothing. Because like you, we prefer our nights long, our drinks strong, and our lucky shirt to be our most comfortable. So look good, be lucky, and visit BlindSquirrelApparel.com for your new favorite shirt. As an added bonus, you'll receive 20% off your purchase with the promo code HOKE, H-O-K-E. You can also pick up Blind Squirrel apparel at the Borgata in Atlantic City and in Las Vegas at all Masura stores at Mandalay Bay, Monte Carlo, The Mirage, and MGM Grand. Look good and be lucky with Blind Squirrel Apparel.
Turn up the electricity on your computer by going to RogueWire.com. News, sports, current events, and the internet home of the Mark Hoke Show, plus much more. Like us on Facebook and follow RogueWire on Twitter to stay up to date and let the sparks fly off your screen. Check it out, RogueWire.com.
Your business and promotion will only go as far as your website will take you. That's why the Mark Hoke Show has only trusted one name for over 2 years, BlueRail.net. Whether you need custom website design and development packages or simply need a host for your website, Blue Rail is the only developer to turn to. It's time to discover the world-class personalized service only the Blue Rail team can provide. Visit us at BlueRail.net and call 520-822-5128 right now for your free consultation today. So get on board at BlueRail.net. How far do you want to go?
Last summer, I was at the World Series of Poker every day and couldn't walk 2 steps without seeing someone wearing 3Bet clothing. It's super comfortable and stylish, and all their stuff looks amazing. The incredible team of pros who wear 3Bet hats, hoodies, tees, and more are a who's who in poker. All-time greats like Jonathan Little, Doc Sands, Brian Rask, Jason Kuhn, Scott Clements, Greg Mueller, Ben Tollerine, Jeff Gross, and of course, Antonio Esfandiari, all proudly wearing the 3Bet brand. They wear 3Bet clothing because they know that being comfortable and feeling confident is crucial to winning on and off the tables. 3Bet.com has shipped thousands of orders worldwide, and it's time for you to join the 3Bet team just like the pros. Go to the number 3bet.com and receive an added bonus of 15% off with the promo code RADIO. Make that right call. Look and feel like a pro at 3bet.com.
Now, let's return to the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
Yeah! It is the Mark Hoke Show, you bet your ass. Oh, having a great time. Thanks for being with us today here on the Mark Hoke Show. Hey, still got about an hour to sign up for the Off-Tilt Poker Tables Tournament Series event. Number 1, 629-454 on the PokerStars.net home games tab. Password is RogueWire, so make sure you get in there. By the way, for those of you YouTubers, in case you didn't notice, we just got this rolling a couple weeks ago. We have a YouTube channel now, so all of our broadcasts are put up on YouTube, so you can check it out there as well, along with download this podcast on iTunes and at podbean.com. Just look us up, any one of those sources, Mark Hoke Show, and you will be able to have That great entertainment anytime you need it. Want it? Whatever. Well, you need it. You must have. We are the greatest poker show in the world. Period. End of story. That's because we get guests like Greg Merson on all the time. So the champ doing his thing, and we do appreciate him joining us here on the Mark Hoke Show. It is always a pleasure to have the greats of the game joining us. And don't forget, of course, on Wednesday, join us on KLAV1230am.com. Or, of course, if you're in Las Vegas, just tune us up 1230 on your dial and join us for an outstanding show. We got John Friedberg and Kenneth James coming in. And I haven't pulled the trigger on who's going to be the third guest yet. We have a panel of guests on there. We just have an amazing time on there, with our Poker Plays You Can Use strategy segment. We have the Arctic Blue Keep Your Cool game of the day, and we're going to try and queue one of those up. Unfortunately, I absolutely blew it and lost my queue. So I'll try and pull one of those up for you when we have a little time here. But it has been an outstanding show out here, and everybody in Vegas has been so hospitable. It has been an amazing experience, and things are going well for me and the family. So appreciate everyone supporting us here at the Mark Hoke Show. It has been fun, to say the least. Now, I have to mention this because I promised I would do this, and I haven't gotten around to it yet. I went to the G2E convention about a month ago or so, and of course, you're trying to hit all the booths, saying hi to everybody, and I still have to recontact some other people that have emailed me. I know I'm behind with a lot of you, and I really apologize. It has been so hectic with, of course, one thing that came up on Friday that we'll talk about. But Jimmie, the card and chip company, bumped into their representatives at the G2E convention, and I want to thank the senior sales manager, Giovanni Ponzone, for taking the time out to talk to me, and hopefully we'll get to do some work with them. But they have a really cool chip out, and I just want to tell everybody this, not because I'm trying to brown nose to them, but this is a really good, a really cool idea that they've got, a great product, and they have a chip called the Super G. Okay, it's a 12.5 gram chip, and what they do is when you get your chip set, the higher denomination chips actually have a little extra weight to them, and a little different weight distribution on it. And so when you walk around and you're carrying chips or you're playing with chips in your hand and you have a higher denomination, it's actually heavier than the smaller denominations. Like I'm actually holding one of those in my hand right now, the $500 Super G chip. And it's really cool. Great concept to kind of make you feel a little more special when you're holding on to those $500 chips, $1,000 chips, whatever you got, some high society in there. So I want to give them a little bit of a recommendation real quick. So make sure you check them out at GemacoCards.com, GEMACO cards.com. And pick some of those up. It's pretty neat. Of course, they have great cards and everything else there as well. So give them a look-see. I'm sure they'd appreciate it. All right. We want to make sure we got that out. And I want to get to talk about a little bit of what happened on Friday. A wild ride for me personally that week with this event. But what it came down to was I got to do play-by-play for the UFC Hall of Fame poker game. It was presented by the UFC and Ultimate Poker. I want to thank Jason Somerville, Andre Ledoux, and the team over there for giving me the invite to come over and do the tournament. What an outstanding experience that was. Unfortunately, the live stream got a little bit messed up. But it'll be recorded, and I'm sure it'll be up on Ultimate Poker very soon. But had a blast doing that. Yeah, Casinos Hammer, I would agree on it. I just put that up, so I know. There's work to do. Send me some recommendations. I'd appreciate it. I'm new to the YouTubing thing. Yeah, but what an amazing night that was. Got to take my friend Justin over there, and got to call the action with Bruce Buffer and Royce Gracie and Matt Hughes, Chuck Liddell. I mean, what a I can't even begin to tell you how much fun that was. And of course, we had a lot of great Ultimate Poker pros backing them up, like Brett Hanks and Jeremy Osmus, Lauren Kling, and so on. It was just an amazing night, and I want to thank Ultimate Poker for having us out there. Just really enjoyed the experience. So thanks to them. And as soon as we get the broadcast in, we'll try and see if we can hook that up on RogueWire too and get that played for you some night as soon as it's all edited down and taken care of. But a lot of fun. So thanks to the Ultimate Poker team for having us out there. Zion, like I said, if you guys want to send me recommendations on that, please do. I mostly threw that up there real quick and just said, I can upload these. So I uploaded them real quick. And this is the week of I don't think I'm busy. I think, it's moving is tough enough. Moving cross country is a huge pain in the ass. Moving cross country, having to leave a little bit of your stuff behind, a bigger pain in the ass, especially, when you have 2 TVs and no TV stands. That's made it interesting. But it has been one entertaining and interesting transition, to say the least. We've been, I want to publicly thank Lisa Wheeler for letting us hang in her place for a while. I know it was a very difficult thing for her and, for all of us really, but we got through it. We made it. And, so big thanks to Lisa for doing that for us. But it has been, we found a nice little place out here. We're starting to get on our feet. Obviously it was a big transition for us, but it has been so exciting. And, I got to tell you, anybody, if you want to get involved in the poker community, don't waste your time anywhere else. I mean, and there's some great stuff happening across the country and the world, of course. You have what's happening down in Florida, Maryland, and, out in Pennsylvania. And they just, of course, massive events up in Ohio and Hammond and, so much going on. And of course, LA. But man, you just can't top this. You just can't do it. And the city's a great time. So much to do. I give it a big 2 thumbs up. But certainly wouldn't be having the time that I am without the support of the poker community out here. It really proves we are one big family. And thank you so much to everybody for hopping in there. Christina Kwan and her team and at Kwan International and Project All In. I know Nate Dowlin's been a lot of fun out here. Joe Payne of and Sissy of the Nevada Poker League. I mean, the list just goes on, and I want to thank all of them for their support. So it's been pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right. So I believe it is time we are going to hear from the creator of the Final 9 comic, the writer on this, Anish Patel. And if you haven't downloaded it, I would tell you go right now. All you got to do is put your email address in and get a free preview. The second issue is going to be coming out very soon. And we got a chance to talk to Anish a little while ago about the book and the project. So let's hear from Anish Patel of Final 9 Comic. All right, everybody, and we are very excited to be joined by Anish Patel and, of course, of Final 9 Comic, the writer of this great book that you can pick up. Just check it out at final9, the number 9, comic.com. Get that free preview today. It is something else if you haven't taken a look, so get over there right now. Anish, I'm very happy to have you on the show, and thank you for supporting the Mark Hoke Show. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, Mark. I like that you got me on board, and yeah, I'm very excited about it.
So where are we on this project? I mean, this is really, we've had a lot of build up talking about it from the World Series, and now it's almost here. What's happening?
So yeah, I mean, what we've been doing is for the last couple of months since last spoke to, met you last time, was we were in the middle of production of issues 1, 2, 3. Which are near or fully developed, and very excited because from what you're going to see at the website right now, you see a sample pages of about 8 to 9 pages, but the full issues are going to be a lot more. There'll be a lot more interesting, based on the character stories and everything. So the reader will enjoy further on, from what they've read as a sample copy, and you'll see some adding their own pages in between that story, as well as more stories after that, from what you see in the sample pages. So, as I said, issues 1, 2, and 3 are near fully developed, and we're starting up 4, 5, and 6 as well straight away.
So what inspired you to write a poker comic book? Because it's a very unique concept. How did you arrive at doing this?
Yeah, it's kind of one of those stories. You're just sitting down and you're trying to think of an idea. And back in 2008, I used to work in TV. I used to work in TV and films, and I was writing some ideas down. And in the background, it's funny enough, I was putting poker on the television set. And what I loved about the show, it was giving the showing the game, and at times I would talk about each player on that final night table, and that's what kind of hooked me in. I thought this is what a great story. I'm not sure who's going to win this. I don't know who the favorite is because the poker game is so different. Anyone can be the chip leader, and they can change any second, and that kind of drove me to watching it and watching it more. So, when I was coming down with the idea, I was like, can this be done as a TV show? Can it be done as a film? But then I thought, no, it's a very intense story. So I thought a comic book could be right because you can put in so many, artwork into this, different stories, and coming out from anywhere. And sometimes it doesn't really need to make sense at the beginning, but it'll give you a nice flow on each character, how the story is developing, and the poker game itself. And I enjoyed watching that show, and I enjoy poker, and it kind of drove me into writing something about it.
Now, when you went to the World Series, did you pick up any extra ideas or anything that you wanted to throw in the book that you saw happen? Some extra inspiration?
Yeah, I mean, you always want to know exactly what the game's about, how they do the structure, how many, just anything, what kind of chip stack everyone starts with, how many tables are there, how, the dealers involved, and of course, like the outside interest, the outside media, who's involved in it, like yourself, Mark, you're out there. You're doing all the radio station really got me interested in adding those things in. I thought, what a great idea! This is the stuff I want to know, and who's involved, and not just in the poker game itself, but everywhere else.
Yeah, it is a multifaceted event. I mean, you see it on TV, and you really don't get a feel of what it's like to be at the World Series until you're actually there, and then you pull in all these extra ideas and things that you never understood before. And I can't wait to see how it gets incorporated in the comic book. I heard rumor now that I'm going to be incorporated in this book, and hopefully people won't buy it. Will buy it despite that, I should say. So,
well, you know what, Mark? I think I'll keep it as a surprise at the moment because when it does arrive, it will be really surprising for everyone to read, and hopefully in a good way. So yeah.
Well, now I got to download the preview of the first issue, and all you have to do is go to final9comic.com. You put your email address in. It's absolutely free, and you can check it out. And being a comic geek myself, I understand you're building a really interesting series of plot lines with these characters. Let's talk about a couple of the characters in there in terms of were there some players that you based them on as you were putting this together? You have a couple ideas of is there a Phil Hellmuth type guy or a Mike Manasow type guy in there?
Yeah, so I mean, from right at the beginning, I always wanted to make sure that some of the characters I had in the book based around certain players. I didn't actually, use exactly the real life players in each character, but I based around some of them. So there's a character called Bob Hookman, who is like known as the old school player who started right at the beginning from the 1970s, and he kind of represents how the transition of old Vegas came to the new Vegas from different types of locations and comes into the bigger rooms. He's based around that kind of character. He has an old way of thinking of playing the poker game. He's very relaxed, and when the younger players always see the older players as one day going to be naive or something, but they're the ones who are actually still ruling the table. So because they've been playing it for years, they had that judgment of players and everything. It makes it very interesting. His story will be great because I like the fact that I wrote this book based around Vegas. I do love going to Vegas, and I like the history as well as the way it's developed into the high hotel buildings and everything. The next player we have is like the online gamer. When I used to talk to a lot of people about how they got involved in poker, they used to say, well, it was online gambling or a friendly game on certain apps and stuff like that, and they learned how to play poker, and then they just liked it so much they just joined up playing online poker on the sites and everything, and they play real life. So it kind of tells you the stories of everyone, how they got. There's so many ways to enter the world of poker. If it's online, if it's just something they picked up with, they played with friends, anything really, and how the media kind of shows that poker is here, it is very big, and it's exciting.
Now, in the preview, and I don't want to give anything away because you start at 10 in the preview. I don't want to say who gets knocked out first, but there are 2 women at this table. How important was that to you to have women involved in this book as characters?
There was only at one point going to be one woman in the book, but I wanted to show people that women are very involved in the real game, and it didn't just start in about 10 years ago. It was probably a lot longer. And I wanted to show 2 types of women players. One of them who opened the door to female players coming into the game, and the new type of player who is mainly more of the kind of, say, poker presenter or an actress or something to do with media. You see a lot of young women in the poker tournaments, especially in WSOP, who are like models, who are like actresses, presenters, and everything, and who are involved in kind of poker. And I think it kind of helped them trying to develop the way they play the game and help themselves to the media side of things. I think some of the women actually got popular playing poker first, and now they're getting the attraction from going on Facebook or something and saying I'm a poker player, but I'm also a model or something like that, and it kind of drives that kind of story, to show how the development has worked.
You can tell the truth, by the way. You wanted to get a hottie in there, right?
Oh, okay, yeah. So we are comic book fans. So at the end of the day, I always see that in certain ways that women does help sales go up.
Just a little bit, just a little. Well, if you look at the preview, of course, it gives a little more information about what's to come in this book, and it's not just going to be about everybody sitting at a poker table and playing a final table at a main event, but there's going to be much more to it than that. What can we expect in terms of the plot twists and how these characters are going to be developed away from the table as we go through these issues?
Yeah. So most of the characters in the next series of books that will be coming out eventually, every character's got some kind of backstory. It's not always going to be a player got into poker like this. It's not going to be that same old story. One player got into poker like this way. It's not going to be like that. Every character has a different twist, and some of them actually have met in the past, slightly sitting in either a poker table or some sort of way, and it shows that the good interaction between these players, even though they've kind of never spoken to ever, but the reader will see that. And there's going to be a lot of dark moments as well as comical moments. Really, the best way poker can give out a good story, and it shows that every player is different from one another. It's not always going to be the one player's always had a bad luck and everyone else is going to have bad luck. It's not exactly like that. Everyone is different from each other.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very exciting read for everybody as this goes through, because if you download that preview, you're going to get to meet a lot of the characters that are going to be in this book, and it's a very diverse group, and I have a feeling you're going to do an outstanding job capturing all the lead up and everything happening there. I mean, I can't wait to get this next issue out. I'm dying to see it.
I think a lot of people are. I've been getting a good lot of a lot of following. A lot of people really interested. Not just poker players, but comic book fans as well. It is different, and I think I can believe to say it's probably one of the first things out there right now that someone's actually approached poker in this kind of format.
Now, in the preview, and once again, I don't want to say what happens, but there is a hand in there dealing with tens.
Yeah.
That I think every one of us has gone through at some point or another. Do you have an experience with tens that inspired that part of the story?
Yes, it's.
I knew it.
It's funny. It was back in 2010, and it wasn't me. It was a friend of mine, and it was a great story. It was one of those times that every time he had pocket tens or any kind of 10, it didn't go well for him, and it kind of represents him. It brings that those tens bring out his real life story and his I always wanted to put it in straight away.
Why am I not surprised? That I knew that there had to be something behind that. That is great. Well, I'm curious. Tell us a little bit about Room 110 Publishing. The company that's putting the book out. For people that may have not heard of them, tell everybody a little bit about the company and what they do.
Yeah, so Room 110, they're a new company based around my little big town. So they've literally just started up, and they're bringing out the first few series of other graphic novels this year and early next year. And when I brought this project out to them, the illustrator who's doing the artwork, Calvin Innes, he's actually involved in the company. And when he signed to do the illustrations for this comic, he liked the idea, and then as soon as he kind of posted it to the rest of the company, they were on board with it. They can see there's a potential of readers for this, a following, and it's going to be great because it's new to me, this kind of format of writing comics and stuff, and they're new as well. So it's going to be an exciting journey for both of us.
So, what's your favorite character in this book? I know every comic writer has one or two characters that they just love to do, and I'm sure you probably got one or two that you really got a kick out of, maybe more than some of the others.
It's difficult to say. There's 9 players, and each of those characters have always the backstories have kind of had a relationship with, the experiences in the book. It's something I had personally at times, or I've seen, but 2 of them I have to be like Andy Patchman and probably Sasha. I enjoy writing about them. But, all the other characters, like I've got people like Morris Bishop and Levi and David Fox, who have a different type of, I enjoy writing this kind of story in the book because it was exciting to write about, especially David Fox, because I wanted to talk about how people get involved in online gaming and stuff, and I enjoy it because I've seen that experience happen, and I've shown people that this is from social network sites, you go and play games on there, and then you suddenly become a fan and as a hobby, and you move on to playing online gaming. It was kind of one of those those kind of things that I really enjoy. And kind of interrelate. So it's difficult to say which ones I enjoy writing about, but each of them is being dedicated to be a good story, and it's hard for me to pick. It's like a poker game. When you're watching poker, you don't know who you're actually going to root for, and as soon as you root for someone, they might get knocked out. So it's one of those kind of situations.
So, are we going to see any interesting Facebook and Twitter, social media battles between, who you think's going to win, who your favorite characters are, and all that kind of stuff? We're gonna start a little fight on this comic book.
Oh yeah, there's we've got some kind of way of marketing, and it's going to be great. And I think one of the characters, Sasha Marshall, she's actually going to be driving the media section of this book, with Twitter and Facebook. And we've got like the side characters in the book, who's some of them are presenters, and they'll drive that kind of Twitter question: who's going to win the World Championships? That it's going to drive hopefully readers not just what to read in the book, but outside that book as well, is to kind of interlink those social media networks.
Once again, make sure you go to final9comic.com. It is going to be something else here. I can't wait to see this. You are going to be thrilled. Check out that first issue preview. It is going to be amazing. Anish, anything else you want to let everybody know about for the book?
Oh, as soon as you pick it up, it's going to be one of those books you're going to love to read and hopefully carry on reading.
And you got a redhead on the front cover of the first issue.
Yeah, definitely.
That made
it has to bring people in, right?
Yes, it made me very happy. Thank you. So guys, check it out, and we're going to be following this saga as it goes through all the way through the World Series next year. It is going to be great. So, Anish, I want to thank you for joining us here on the Mark Hoke Show. Greatly appreciate it, and we will continue to get to talk to you over the next few months as this book comes out.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Mark, for having me on board.
Yep, thank you. I really appreciate it, and we will speak again soon, my friend. Have a great afternoon. Yeah, afternoon.
Thank you. Cheers.
All right, there you go, guys. Anish Patel of the Final 9 comic. Go to finalnumber9comic.com. Take a look at it, and I'm telling you, you're going to really enjoy this book. You know, I know he's putting his heart and soul into this, and definitely going to be worth your while. So get on over there, finalninecomic.com, and of course you can also follow him on Facebook and Twitter. Facebook is Final 9, but they changed it to Final 9 spelled out now, and the Twitter Final number 9 comic. I don't know what hijinks and shenanigans are going to take place in that book, but I'm sure it's going to be something else. All right, let's take a break, and we'll get to some more news of the day. And coming up, the Off Tilt Poker Tables Tournament Series event number 1. Get on your horse and ride, guys. Somebody is going to take the first step towards winning a brand new poker table from Off Tilt Poker Tables. So stick around for that, and we will be right back.
When it comes to custom poker tables, why would you buy something someone else designed and even named for their sales or marketing purposes?
The Nighthawk, the Gambler, the Big Slick, the Nuts.
Sure, you can customize it if you want, as long as you choose between black, red, or even green cloth, but that's about it. When you choose to play off tilt, it's not just another table, it's your table. The same price gets you a fully custom designed table that reflects your style and game. Off Tilt makes it easy to design a truly one-of-a-kind custom poker table that'll give you home table advantage. Sure, Off Tilt could name their tables for marketing purposes, but why? It's not ours. We don't play on it. And to be honest, there are over 1,000 named Off Tilt tables worldwide, including the WSOP, the Deep Stacks Poker Tour, the Jonathan Papelbon, as well as Julie's, Chris's, Scott's, Amber's, Tristan's, just to name a few. So let us add your name to the list and deliver a truly custom-crafted, furniture-quality poker table worthy of your game. Visit www.offtiltpokertables.com or call Brian Knott today at 262-490-3812. We'll show you why Off Tilt is the only way to play.
Win your share of $50,000 in cash and prizes and get into the game for free with the Nevada Poker League. NPL has 17 locations in the Las Vegas area for you to play poker with your friends and neighbors. New season starts early October. Find a location near you at NevadaPokerLeague.com and get in the action tonight.
Want to be a millionaire? Then see if you can become fantasy sports royalty in the 2013 Fantasy Football Millionaire Grand Final at DraftKings.com. Play for free or in paid contests for real money, plus games last one day, so there's no long-term commitment. Thousands of winners have won over 10 million prizes on DraftKings.com, and now it's your turn to cash in. Go to DraftKings.com right now, enter the promo code Hoke, and get a 100% deposit bonus and a free entry into the Millionaire Grand Final qualifier. So don't wait. Crown yourself the king of fantasy sports at DraftKings.com.
Turn up the electricity on your computer by going to RogueWire.com. News, sports, current events, and the internet home of the Mark Hoke Show, plus much more. Like us on Facebook and follow RogueWire on Twitter to stay up to date and let the sparks fly off your screen. Check it out, RogueWire.com.
Your business and promotion will only go as far as your website will take you. That's why the Mark Hoke Show has only trusted one name for over 2 years, BlueRail.net. Whether you need custom website design and development packages, or simply need a host for your website, Blue Rail is the only developer to turn to. It's time to discover the world-class personalized service only the Blue Rail team can provide. Visit us at BlueRail.net and call 520-822-5128 right now for your free consultation today. So get on board at BlueRail.net. How far do you want to go?
One man, his lucky shirt, an unforgettable night, and a winning streak that never seemed to end. That's how Blind Squirrel began, and we haven't looked back since. We make the clothes that we want to wear for the places where we want to look and feel our best. The game, the speakeasy, and the casino floor. Blind Squirrel's small batch, high-quality gear is for people too busy grabbing life by the nuts to bother with crappy, ill-fitting clothing. Because like you, we prefer our nights long, our drinks strong, and our lucky shirt to be our most comfortable. So look good, be lucky, and visit BlindSquirrelApparel.com for your new favorite shirt. As an added bonus, you'll receive 20% off your purchase with the promo code HOKE, H-O-K-E. You can also pick up Blind Squirrel apparel at the Borgata in Atlantic City and in Las Vegas at all Missouri stores at Mandalay Bay, Monte Carlo, The Mirage, and MGM Grand. Look good and be lucky with Blind Squirrel apparel.
9 poker players on a dramatic path to glory with unbelievable twists and turns that will keep you on the edge of your seat. It's the Final 9 comic from Room 110 Publishing. Go to final9comic.com to download the first issue preview and get ready for the official launch on October 21st, 2013. 9 will become one way or another. Final9comic.com.
The heat is on. Whether you're in the hot seat of a major poker tournament or just dealing with everyday life, stay cool with a brand new Arctic Blue cooling towel. Just wet your reusable and durable Arctic Blue cooling towel in cold water and you'll have instant cooling relief at your fingertips for up to 5 hours. The towel is lightweight and pliable, so you can keep it handy no matter where you are. Plus, it's absorbent enough to make sure you and your clothes stay dry while you stay cool. No need to sweat it out, no matter what you're doing, when you have an Arctic Blue cooling towel handy. So get the same cooling towel used by professional athletes, poker players, first responders, physical therapists, U.S. automakers, and even reality TV stars. So what are you waiting for? Visit them today at arcticblu.com and pick yours up today. Plus, enter the discount code MarkHokeShow when you check out and get 15% off plus free shipping to keep some of your cold hard cash in your wallet. It's like the Arctic Blue Bear says, it's not cool to be hot. So pick up your Arctic Blue cooling towel today.
This is the Mark Hoke Show.
The Mark Hoke Show.
Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
Oh, yeah. Having a little interesting discussion in the chat box about tags. Yep. That's what we do here. That's my listeners. Gotta love them. Hey, thanks for being with us here on the Mark Hoke Show. We're live on a Sunday from Sin City. Oh, yeah. I want to thank Greg Merson and Anish Patel for being on the show. Certainly do appreciate it. And we're soon getting to our first event of the Off-Tilt Poker Tables Tournament Series. The more players that play, the more points you get. So tell your friends and neighbors. Let's get them in here. Fire this thing up. Should be an exciting series as somebody's going to win a brand new poker table from our good friends at Off-Tilt Poker Tables. Yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. I have one. My friends love it. They've seen it now, and they're like, whoa, my God, this thing's awesome. Like, yes, I know, because Brian's the best. That's why he's got poker tables from the Mid-States Poker Tour and Deep Stacks Poker Tour and the World Series of Poker and everywhere else in the freaking world. Dude's everywhere. So if you need a poker table, go to offtiltpokertables.com. All right. Well, let's see. Let's take a look at what else is going on, at least for the moment, courtesy of Poker News. I want to thank Poker News for, of course, hosting the Mark Hoke Show. They're taking the KLAV podcasts and putting them up on their website, and we certainly appreciate it. Looking forward to get a couple more going up there soon. I just got the recording from this one. There's a few they don't have, and I may have to send them in there and let them throw them up there. But I know on the news page right now, the main one, the Mike Matisow, is up there. So if you haven't listened to that, we're going to try and get a little excerpt from that here in a minute or two. I said, unfortunately, I had it queued up and then I lost it. So we'll try and throw that up there for you as soon as humanly possible here, because we got to get ready for this tournament too. But in other news happening, let's check it out real quick. Oh, yeah, this was a good one. And I feel bad if you did not get your claim into Full Tilt. Not happening. You're done. You're out. But the Garden City Group has announced the payment date for balances of U.S. Full Tilt poker players. So finally, since April 15th, 2011, guys, you're finally going to get your money back in 2014. Quote, we are in the process of reviewing petitions filed by petitioners who confirmed their balances online and who have not disputed their FTP account balance or submitted multiple petitions. We expect payments to be made with respect to such petitions with confirmed balances by March 31st, 2014. So there you go. You're going to be getting them paid back. Of course, this whole thing came about on Black Friday when PokerStars, Full Tilt, and Absolute got shut down. So about $150 million is out there. Apparently, they did send out about 1.4 million email notifications to Full Tilt customers. They have gotten about 41,000 petitions for repayment. And I know a bunch of players were actually staying away from doing that because they didn't want to get charged for the taxes. So what are you going to do? Really, Casino Examiner is picking up subscribers to his channel during the show. Very nice. That's cute. Very cute. That's all right. But, yeah, so good luck to everybody getting your Full Tilt money back. Hopefully, in about 4 months, you guys are going to be picking up your money, and this thing will finally be over. I hope. Man, what a saga it's been. And, just everybody should be just getting their checks and walking away at this point. It should have been done a long damn time ago. But what can you do? You're dealing with the federal government. As you can tell, they're not exactly on the ball. Can't even build a website right. Pretty sad. Some other news happening right now. Let's see. By the way, of course, the Borgata Fall Poker Open, where they always have that huge $1 million guarantee event. Greg Himmelbrand takes that down. So he's your big winner on that one. So congratulations to Greg. As he wins the always exciting first event at a Borgata Fall, this year's Borgata Fall Poker Open. Just always a war in that one. Still down to 3 at the WPT Alpha 8 in St. Kitts, being played at the Royal Beach Casino in Christoph Harbor. Philip Grissom has now taken the lead. Boy, Mike McDonald had control of that thing there for a while, but it has flipped quickly. So Philip Grissom now at 1.1 million, Tom McDonald at 902,000, and Mike McDonald Timex dropped to 70. Oof. That's a tough run there for Mike McDonald. Looked like he had that thing pretty much under control. Now they changed the list of players that were on the chip counts. Looks like Jason Kuhn, Scott Seaver, Tim Adams were the final table. So sorry about that. So, yeah, it was Jason Kuhn finishing 4th, Scott Seaver in 5th, and Timothy Adams, who, by the way, on the WPT site, sporting a really small tank top. But he bubbles out on that thing. Seaver's picking up $217,000, Jason Kuhn $298,000 for their efforts, but that's like $1 million top prize on that thing. So good luck to those guys playing for that big money on the WPT Alpha 8. Very impressive. We are also looking at some football going on right now. And quickly on the scoreboard, the New Orleans Saints have knocked off the San Francisco 49ers 23-20. And that loss will probably give Seattle a one-way ticket to the Super Bowl. In all honesty, Seattle probably should end up being the number 1 seed out there. And it's going to be really tough for anybody to get in there and beat the Seahawks in Seattle. Boy, I'll tell you, would you imagine Pete Carroll could be coaching a Super Bowl? I don't know if I'd have put money on that one. The Buffalo Bills beating the Jets 37-14. We got the Bears in overtime in that crazy game out there, knocking off the Ravens 23-20. That probably is going to end Baltimore's season. Cincinnati beats Cleveland, and now the Bengals look like they've got going to have a stranglehold on their division. So good luck to seeing the Cincinnati Bengals. Hopefully they get healed up in time for the playoffs. Philadelphia Eagles, first place, baby, 24-16 over Washington. Steelers knock off Detroit. That's a tough loss for the Lions, too. But fortunately, everybody else in the division is kind of in the tank at this point, except for the Bears. Tampa Bay gets another win, beating the injury-decimated Atlanta Falcons. And, boy, I'll tell you, the Falcons fans and the Houston Texans fans just got to be shaking their heads right now. What happened? Oof. It's unbelievable. Arizona knocks off Jacksonville, so the Jaguars continue their battle to try and get the number 1 draft pick this year. Oakland beats Houston 28-23. Miami Dolphins knock off San Diego. That's a terrible loss for San Diego. They sure didn't need that right now. Giants beat the Aaron Rodgers-less Green Bay Packers 27-13. Seattle rolling against Minnesota. We got Kansas City and Denver coming up tonight. Of course, we had the Thursday night game, Colts knocking off Tennessee. Nice comeback for them. And the Pasties take on the Kitties. That sounds like a strip club. Huh, good for them. But we got New England and Carolina for the Monday Night Football game. Yeah, I have Denver and Seattle in the Super Bowl, too. That was actually my pick at the beginning of the season. Really liked Seattle's chances to, as long as they won the division, it was as good as that team is, it's going to be next to impossible to beat them at home. It really is. That's going to be tough. But you got to like Denver, too. I mean, Denver just looks like they're going to be head and shoulders above everybody else. But, hey, they lost to the Colts, so who knows? It's the playoffs. Anything can happen. But pretty exciting and wild season in the NFL to this point. Hey, congratulations, another sports news to Jimmie Johnson winning his 6th Sprint Cup title. Impressive. So Jimmie Johnson taking it easy and is now a 6-time NASCAR champ. That is something else to see right there. We may not see that ever happen again. And, of course, he's still got a long way to go. So pretty impressive there. And, of course, the last night of the UFC, we were talking about the UFC Hall of Fame poker game. George St. Pierre knocking off Johnny Hendricks. Everybody expected that to be a great fight, and it was, but by a lot of accounts, Johnny Hendricks won that fight. But St. Pierre gets a controversial split decision, one that actually UFC owner Dana White basically said, I love George, but he got his butt kicked, and there was no reason that he won that fight. And then, George saying that he was thinking about retiring, and, and then Dana White after the conference said he has to make sure that, it's just personal stuff. He's just a little upset right now, having a tough time. He'll be back, blah, 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 blah. But a very interesting situation there in UFC 167, George St. Pierre picking up a win, and Chael Sonnen also, unfortunately, getting bashed in by Rashard Evans. So it appears Rashard Evans has righted the ship a little bit. And Chael Sonnen just can't quite get over the hump to win a championship. Got a feel for the guy. He's one of the most charismatic guys you're ever going to see, but not this time around. Wow, what a wild night for UFC last night. All right, so getting ready to do our thing here with the Off-Tilt Poker Tables Tournament Series. First event coming up here very shortly. And, of course, if you missed it, which some of you bozos did, shame on you. Where were you? You missed Greg Merson being on the show. God, you got a world champ on the show, and now you start popping in the door. That's all right. But, hey, if you're signing in as a guest, just go to Ustream.tv, pick up screen name, interact with us in the chat box. We'll have a fun time with that as the tournament goes on this evening. So join in, and, of course, trying to pick up those points, as valuable as we all know they are. Of course, last year it's always been last time around, very tight finish for the last 3 or 4 spots in the championship tournament. Zion asking what's my new email. That is markhoke@bluerail.net. Yeah, you can always email us for anything. If you want to tell us what you like of the show, what you don't like about the show, anything you want to do, just drop us a line. We certainly appreciate it. All right. So let's see here. See if I can get this set up for you. Because I really like to play, before the tournament starts, I really like to play this Arctic Blue game of the day we have in Mike Mattis out. I think I got it pretty close here. So 1 second here, and we'll get this lined up for you. And, we've been having some just ton of fun stuff on the show. Rock Forever is saying, suck it. Oh, come on, Rock. It's good to see you, too. But let's see if we can play this real quick. I should have this clip at the right spot, I believe, for the Mike Mattis playing of the Arctic Blue Keep Your Cool game of the day on KLAV 12:30 a.m. on our show on there. So let's see what we got. Cross your fingers. Hopefully I got this all set up for you so you guys can hear this, because this was funny. As Mike got a question wrong that he really shouldn't have.
193,800.
Dang it.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right, Donna,
hang
back
on,
to
hang
you.
on.
We'll get this. We'll get this. Hang on.
But the girl that ended up taking third place in the whole tournament, she was playing a 1-2 game at Hammond while they were giving out seats, and she got one of the seats, and she ended up taking third place for $193,000.
And they're talking about
bucks.
Wow, one of the players at Hammond getting the job done there. That's how things go in poker. It is incredible. Just the craziest things happen.
That's unreal.
This is why Mike lost his headphones. I
never
don't
got
know
them.
what happened.
I was wondering, like, how do we hear this guy talk? I'm like, and I just looked at
there we go.
Everybody's got
There we go.
headsets on but me.
Yeah, there we go. Well, Terry, hey, thanks for the story, man. Appreciate that. Thanks for hanging on and calling in.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. All right. Well, hey, we got to get our Arctic Blue Keep Your Cool game of the day in. You guys are in trouble on this one. So.
It's time for the Arctic Blue Keep Your Cool game of the day.
Now, of course, in honor of Mike Madison, we had to come up with a game to recognize the mouth. So your game is, whose mouth is it? All right. So this is it's really simple. Okay, I'm gonna read each of you. We're gonna go around a few times. Gonna read you a quote, and you're gonna tell me if it was Mike the Mouth. And of course, the World Series is going on, so I went to one of the great baseball movies, Major League 2. Okay, so you have to tell me if it's a Mike the Mouth quote, a Major League 2 quote, or if I just made it up.
Oh no!
All right.
Okay.
All right. So are you guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Nate, you got off to a bad start in the last game we did.
I'll do better on this
All
one.
right, so
I've been
so
a Mike fan for years.
I'm hoping you're going to do better on this. All right, so I'm going to give you a good one here, Nate. Are you ready?
Yeah.
The kitty game is down the street.
That's a Madison quote. For
Thank you.
sure.
There we go.
That's on T-shirts.
That was too easy.
That's on T-shirts.
That was easy. You better give me an easy one.
I was actually thinking though. Yeah.
Yeah. Hello.
I had to give Nate the softball because I felt bad for him the last time. All right, Donna. Your lack of talent is only outweighed by how much of an idiot you are. Go away now.
That sounds like a Phil Hellmuth quote.
It does. I don't think it's my quote.
It's not a Mike quote.
Is it Mike Major League or made up?
Made up.
Made up is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Good job. Good job. Got the read on me. Mike.
Yeah.
Women, you can't live with them, and they can't pee standing up.
That's Major League 2 quote. I've
Very
seen that
good.
movie a million times.
All right, so let's see. So everybody's been correct so far. You're all 1 point. Very good. All right, Nate, back to you. Let's go with this one. You realize how many times lightning has to strike for you to be sitting there?
Made up.
No.
Incorrect.
Oh, that's a Madison quote.
That is a Madison
Yes,
quote.
I know. I remember saying it.
When did you say that?
I don't know, but I remember saying it.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right, Donna, back to you here. So a chance to
Oops.
at least get past Nate. Let's go with, I'd just like to say you're standing on the tracks and the train's coming through, butthead.
I'm going to say Mike.
No.
No.
That's a Major League 2 quote.
That's a Major League 2 quote.
Damn.
All right, so Mike can take the lead on this.
Well, I can't because I've seen that movie probably 100 times, so I know if it's me or I know it's that or I'll know if it's made up.
That is true.
I
All
got
right.
an edge.
Just call me boss man.
That is, it's not me. I'm pretty sure that is made up.
No, that
Major
is
League.
you.
Really?
I found that online. That is you.
Was I making fun of what's his name when he said that? The guy always says, "I'm the boss. Call me boss." Maybe I was.
I think so, but wow.
What's his name? Antran used to say that. Oh, hey boss. So I used to say, just call me boss, man. So maybe I was talking to Antran.
Wow, Mike got one of his own quotes wrong.
Now I don't feel so bad.
Oh my goodness! All right, last time around here.
I just thinking I know it wasn't Major League 2, and I don't remember saying it. So
Nate, you have no marbles.
Mike.
No.
Really? You've never
Come
said
on.
that?
You've actually never seen Major League 2, have you?
No, I've never seen.
That's when Tanaka says, "You got no marbles, man."
I'm not a baseball fan.
Yeah.
Often.
How can you not be a baseball fan?
Donna, you can wrap
Tigers
up a
fan.
tie here if you're
Okay.
correct. Why the bleep did I bet the Jets again? I'd have made a better bet if I'd have put 5 dimes on the Stewardesses.
Yeah, that's Mike.
Oh, for sure.
That's Mike.
No, I made that one up.
No, really? I know I said that to somebody last week. I know I said that to somebody this last weekend.
He just said he said it.
The reason
It's
why I
Mike's
know I
fault.
said that because I lost a lot of money this weekend on the Jets. I said,
On
I
the
can't
Jets.
believe I bet the Jets again. I'd rather die than ever bet on Geno Smith. So I was thinking for sure I had to say that.
Oh, my gosh. I'm fooling everybody. This is great.
Oh.
Mike, you can win the game.
Oh, wow.
You can win the game. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. I believe I'm one of the top 5 players in the world. It's the only thing I do good. I'm an idiot when it comes to anything else.
Well, that's 100% me.
You betcha. There you go.
Just lob it right in there. Just lob it.
That was almost like a T-ball question
Really?
there.
All
Because I am
right.
an idiot at everything else.
So Mike wins the game as we expected he would. All right, we have to get a commercial break in. We'll come back and wrap this thing up.
The bad thing is Mike got one wrong.
Yes. That's all right.
How did I not know that I keep saying that? I don't remember saying it. I still don't remember saying it.
Oh, my God. We'll be right back. All right, and there you go. That was our Arctic Blue Keep Your Cool game of the day that we played with Mike Matusow on the Mark Hoke Show on KLAV, 12:30 a.m. And, you know, if you're looking for some great entertainment, yeah, check that show out. We have so much fun on there, and we certainly appreciate all the support for that. But actually, we do have to get a commercial break in, and we are going to be starting this tournament off in 4 minutes. I see J.J. Corrado is in the house. One of my former broadcasting partners who needs to get his ass back on this show at some point. We're going to hunt him down and get him in here. All right, let's take a break, and we will be right back here on the Mark Hoke Show as we will be kicking off event number 1 of the Off-Tail Poker Tables Tournament Series right after this.
9 poker players on a dramatic path to glory with unbelievable twists and turns that will keep you on the edge of your seat. It's the Final 9 comic from Room 110 Publishing. Go to final9comic.com to download the first issue preview and get ready for the official launch on October 21st, 2013. 9 will become 1 way or another. Final9comic.com.
Last summer, I was at the World Series of Poker every day and couldn't walk 2 steps without seeing someone wearing 3Bet clothing. It's super comfortable and stylish, and all their stuff looks amazing. The incredible team of pros who wear 3Bet hats, hoodies, tees, and more are a who's who in poker. All-time greats like Jonathan Little, Doc Sands, Brian Rask, Jason Kuhn, Scott Clements, Greg Mueller, Ben Tolerine, Jeff Gross, and of course, Antonio Esfandiari, all proudly wearing the 3Bet brand. They wear 3Bet clothing because they know that being comfortable and feeling confident is crucial to winning on and off the tables. 3Bet.com has shipped thousands of orders worldwide, and it's time for you to join the 3Bet team just like the pros. Go to the number 3bet.com and receive an added bonus of 15% off with the promo code RADIO. Make that right call. Look and feel like a pro at 3bet.com.
Your business and promotion will only go as far as your website will take you. That's why the Mark Hoke Show has only trusted one name for over 2 years, BlueRail.net. Whether you need custom website design and development packages or simply need a host for your website, Blue Rail is the only developer to turn to. It's time to discover the world-class personalized service only the Blue Rail team can provide. Visit us at BlueRail.net and call 520-822-5128 right now for your free consultation today. So get on board at BlueRail.net. How far do you want to go?
Want to be a millionaire? Then see if you can become fantasy sports royalty in the 2013 Fantasy Football Millionaire Grand Final at DraftKings.com. Play for free or in paid contests for real money, plus games last 1 day, so there's no long-term commitment. Thousands of winners have won over 10 million prizes on DraftKings.com, and now it's your turn to cash in. Go to DraftKings.com right now, enter the promo code HOKE, and get a 100% deposit bonus and a free entry into the Millionaire Grand Final qualifier. So don't wait. Crown yourself the king of fantasy sports at DraftKings.com.